Never mind.
Shooting. I haven't seen you miss the bullseye once.
Oh, Ted, I'm not normally this good. I just happen to be on my period.
Your period?
Hey.
What's that?
It's something all girls my age have to go through. It means blood is coming out of my uterus, which in turn increases my aggression and
Happy to help if I can.
Golly, I wish I could have my period soon. I'm a lousy shot.
Ted, you can't have a period.
Why not?
Because you're a boy. Menstruation isn't just about becoming the world's deadliest shot. It also means you're ready for childbirth.
That's not fair. I want to shoot things just as good as you can.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're just gonna have to learn the old-fashioned way.
Oh, all right. But what changes for boys? If I don't get a period, what do I get?
You get to grow a beard. It doesn't matter how many periods I have, I'll never be able to do that.
Oh, phooey. What's so great about a beard anyways? It doesn't make me a better athlete.
Maybe not, but it's really helpful when you're sad and depressed. It lets people know things aren't going right.
Kind of like right now. I feel awful rotten not having my period.
Pretty much, Ted. But you'll be happy to know.
I'd like to
periods
trade
aren't
some
just about
items.
being good at
Go
sports.
ahead.
There's pros and cons, like giving birth.
I'm sorry, Molly. Here I thought it was just rainbows and candy canes. Now I know better.
Don't worry about it, Ted. So the next time you see a girl doing something you can't, just remember it's not you, it's biology.
Thanks, Molly. I'll remember that.
We can keep traveling as
Can't
much
get
as
over
you
what
want.
happened to the hammer.
I don't require sleep
the
or
daughter.
food in order to survive.
Right in front.
I
Just
don't
looking
know
to
how
trade
they
a
carry
little.
on after
Okay.
something like that.
Pray that never happens here.
I want to trade a few things.
Sure.
Trouble sleeping?
It's all those stories going around. The Institute grabbing people in the night. Guess I just couldn't sleep with all that stuff on my mind.
That'd keep anyone up at night.
Hello, I'm Peggy Martin, and I'm absolutely thrilled to tell you the news that women today are happier and luckier than they've ever been. And it's all thanks to the Watts brand hot plate, the world's first and finest portable gas grill. You've heard about it, I'm sure, through its best advertisement, the woman who owns one. That's because having a hot plate means a happy husband, and a happy husband means a happy home.
All I've been getting is compliments for my food ever since I got my Watts brand hot plate. In fact, I've started cooking 8 meals a day just so I can get more of them.
This sort of reaction is typical. In fact, we just finished talking with millions of women all over the country, and 99% of them recommend the Watts brand hot plate to 100% of their friends and relatives. Why? Because What's Brand Hot Plate makes the things you cook more delicious. What's Contemporary Fry Guide shows the correct temperature for preparing all your favorite dishes, taking out all the thinking and planning most housewives aren't equipped for. Just dial the hot plate to the correct temperature, and you'll have eggs and bacon that are perfect every time. On top of that, it's water sealed. That means no more electrocutions or trips to the hospital for you or your loved ones. So buy the new controlled heat hot plate by What's today. The best in electrical appliances made.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone home? My car broke down and I need help. Huh? The door's open. I guess it won't hurt to go inside. Hello? Is anyone home? I just need to make a phone call. What on earth?
You. Who let you in here?
I let myself in. My car broke down and I damn well couldn't stay out there.
I see. Well, you shouldn't have come in. There are far more dangerous things in here than you'll ever find outside.
Does it have something to do with the howling?
Yes. But perhaps it's best I show you.
I don't get it. Why is this man locked up?
I understand he may look the part, but I assure you, that is no man.
What do you mean?
This is the shirt he was wearing when I found him.
I don't get it. It looks like an ordinary shirt.
Inspect it. Look at the name written on the tag.
Why, it says Satan.
That's right, Satan. The devil himself. El Diablo. Asmodeus. Beelzebub.
I get ya.
Beherit. Lucifer. Yenlo Wang.
All right, I get it. He's the bad guy. But he looks harmless. How can you be so sure?
Because I put him in this prison exactly 8 years to this day. Think about how society has flourished in that time.
But there's been wars, murder, crime. It's hardly a utopia.
Those are man's failings. The devil has no hand in that.
Okay, so what about pestilence, disease?
Another god is in charge of that. I think one of the Hindu ones.
Then what does Satan do? What's changed exactly?
For many years I asked that question myself. I combed the newspapers looking for evidence that his influence was gone, until at long last I discovered it. Satan, you see, is a harbinger of random automotive breakdowns.
Car show? But my car just broke down 10 minutes ago.
Did it? Did you check the fuel gauge?
No, I guess I didn't.
Come. The rain is letting up. I'll show you. See? Completely out of gas.
What do you know? I guess you were right.
We keep some canisters in the basement. I'll have my squire, Brother Joseph, fill up your tank immediately. I suggest that you spend the night, however, as it looks like there's another storm coming.
I really appreciate everything you're doing.
No trouble at all. You may choose any bed and take whatever you need from the kitchen. I only ask that you do not let Satan out of his cage.
Sure.
I want you to give me your word. Do not let him out.
All right. You have my word. Come on, friend. Let's get you out of here. Damn. They really did a number on you, didn't they? But don't worry. I'm here to help. I don't believe for a second that you're really Satan. Now let's get you in my car. All right. Full tank of gas. Everything looks good, and something's wrong. The car won't start. Why won't it start? No, it can't be. No!
breath, cleaner taste, cleaner teeth. 3 ways clean is always clean. When Handsome Harry joins the session, he makes a real cool 3-way impression. Cleaner breath, cleaner taste, cleaner teeth. 3 ways clean is always clean.
That's right. Fresh breath, a healthy smile, and a clean, minty aftertaste. 3 ways clean means you're always clean. And nothing does it better than Superdent toothpaste. In your mouth, trouble starts when stray food particles get trapped in your teeth, producing decay bacteria. These bacteria produce acids that eat away at your smile, turning Handsome Harry into an unlikable sloth. Meanwhile, Cutie Katie, having first tried a competing brand, found brushing to be a chore due to its bitter medicine aftertaste. As a result, she has no idea her once fresh, minty breath now smells like a swamp. But once they switched to Superdent, they not only found cleaner breath, cleaner taste, and cleaner teeth, they also found true love. So switch to Superdent toothpaste today, because 3 ways clean is always clean.
A happy always girl and boy. Fresh 3 ways clean to both enjoy. Cleaner breath, cleaner taste, cleaner teeth. 3 ways clean is always clean.
Hey, Tortoise, how about you and me race again? I swear this time, I'm gonna beat you.
Oh, you very well could, Mr. Hare. The problem is you keep taking a nap halfway through the race.
Is that why I keep losing?
Oh yes, they say slow and steady wins the race. But the truth is, it's much better to be fast and awake.
Alright, let's say for a second I believe you. How am I supposed to stay awake when you keep
We've got
boring?
company.
Well,
Did you hear
have
that?
you tried not bringing your pillow along when you race?
Here,
The thought
over
has
here.
crossed my mind.
Well, it might help. And you should lose the sleeping bag while you're at it. Also, is that a holotape?
Why, yes. It's a 10-hour documentary on the mating habits of humans. I planned on listening to it after I built up a big enough lead.
See, Mr. Hare, I've seen humans mate, and that'll put you to sleep for sure.
You do make some good points. But I gotta ask, why are you helping me? What's your angle?
Oh, just trying to keep things fair and square is all.
You're sick of me asking you to race, aren't you?
Yup.
Hey,
How may I be of service?
Hi, I'm broadcaster Joe Miller. Every day I'm lucky enough to get to watch the greatest athletes in the world play a kids game for money. But they didn't become champs by eating candy bars and reading dirty magazines. Oh no. They practiced strict abstinence and ate 3 square meals a day. Now you might be asking, Joe, where on earth can I get religious absolution and a side of fries for the same low price as a hot dog at a game? Well, for religion, you can try your local pastor, but for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I recommend Dot's Diner. That's Dot's Diner, the #1 stop for burgers, milkshakes, and all-American cuisine. Take it from me, Joe Miller, the voice of your favorite baseball team. You eat anywhere else, and your prospects in life will be gone.
out what courses to take next term. I'm thinking about taking home economics.
Home economics? Let Mr. Handy take care of that stuff.
But Mr. Handy doesn't give you course credit. It's senior year and I just need something to fill the time. So I wanted something easy.
Linda, that isn't right. How would Mrs. Anderson feel if you told her her class was a joke, just like her life?
I never said it was a joke. I like Miss Anderson.
You have a strange way of showing it. You take that class, and you're wasting her time
Heads
and
up.
yours.
So what class should I take? None of them really interest me.
Not everything has to be interesting. School is about learning the skills you need to
Heads up.
succeed in life. Now, let me take a look. Now see? There's a class you should be taking.
Oh, that's that new firearm class, sponsored by the good folks at Beretta. Why would I want to take that?
What can I
You're
do
gonna
for
have
you?
to learn it sometime, Linda. They say the communists could invade any day now. And you're not gonna be able to fight them off with a
Hey.
blueberry pie
You
now,
look
are
like you could use a
I
little
suppose
pick-me-up.
not. And that
Am I
9mm
right?
pistol looks real swell.
It
Let's see what you
sure
got.
does.
Exactly
In fact,
what you need.
Why don't I help you get a leg up on your studies? We can practice on that immigrant who moved in next door.
Is that legal?
Of course. They call them illegal immigrants for a reason, Linda. It means, as an American citizen, you have the constitutional right to shoot them. Now come on, let's go find you a gun.
Maybe I could carry some of that for you.
Every woman wants to look their best for a night on the town, but it's important to remember that when the night is done, many cosmetics leave traces of oil and dirt that can clog pores and leave your skin looking a mess when that handsome gentleman caller wakes you up the next morning. That's That's why Mary May's new line of cosmetics adds trace amounts of radiation to help ensure your face is completely dirt-free. Using a standard Geiger counter, you can detect when dirt and makeup are still on your face and remove them before they cause problems down the line. If you aren't sure which cosmetics have been radioactively enhanced, just look for the yellow hazard symbol on the label. Clinical scientists, beauticians, and men of all types agree. The only way to keep your face clean and beautiful is with Mary May, the leader in cutting-edge cosmetics.
Oh, you, Mr. Folsom?
Something I can help you with, ma'am?
You haven't heard? It's in all the papers. They say I've murdered someone.
I see. And you need a lawyer to defend you?
Why, yes, but no one will take my case.
So that's why you came to me.
Well, not really. The court appointed you. I was told you're my public defender.
Ah, the good old Sixth Amendment. Right to counsel. Remind me to thank the Founding Fathers for keeping me employed.
Are you familiar with the details of my case? Do you think I can win?
Well, I'm just a simple countryman. I don't have a degree from Harvard Law or some fancy school upstate. But I do have one thing the prosecution doesn't have.
The truth?
No, don't be silly. Charm. I got charm.
Please rise. Court of the Second Judicial Circuit Criminal Division is now in session. The Honorable Judge Rayburn presiding.
Everyone but the jury may be seated. Defense, call your first witness.
The defense calls the witness Lily Adams to the stand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So, Miss Adams, if you might state your occupation.
I'm a maid for Mr. and Miss Watkins.
And you were there the night Mr. Watkins was murdered?
Yes, I saw Mrs. Watkins do it with my own eyes.
I see. Miss Adams, can you do me a favor and tell me how many fingers I'm holding up?
Mr. Prosecutor, how dare you insult me
If you
with
work,
such an
you eat.
obscene
It's simple as
gesture?
that.
No, Miss Adams. The correct answer is two. 2 fingers.
That is not the point.
Oh, it's exactly the point. Now, I may be just a simple country boy from a backwoods dumpster, but I know my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And if Miss Adams can't even see how many fingers I held up, how can she be sure it was my client who committed the murder?
Order! Order! Order in the court!
So, life without parole, huh?
Yes, damn shame. Considering the key witness was blind.
I'm sure you did your best, Mr. Folsom.
I didn't I? Hell, she'd probably be in the electric chair if it weren't for me.
Best to take solace in the small victories.
Thanks, Jim. One day I'll know what that's like. Victory. But anyways, enough about the case. What can I do for you?
Yes, can you fill up my tank and check the oil?
Sure thing.
Thank you. It's like I can finally think straight.
Spring Valley potato crisps are so light, so crisp, that it's impossible to eat just one. You can eat 100. You can eat 1,000,000. You can eat nothing but potato crisps from now until the day your chest explodes from heart
That
failure.
suit should tip the balance
But
of
you'll
things in our
never
favor.
be able to eat just
Farming's
one.
as honest as
Don't
honest
take our
work
word for
gets.
it. Ask the food scientists who have engineered our crisps to be as addictive as they are delicious. That's why we at Spring Valley are working hard to make sure every store in your neighborhood is fully stocked at all times. That way, you can finish every last crisp, secure in the knowledge that you'll never have to eat anything else. Spring Valley potato crisps, because you can never eat just one.
Coming to a theater near you, Dick Petty and the drag strip dolly. He's the man behind the wheel with grease in his hair and lead in his foot. She's his arch rival with a chassis that'll make your motor roar. Ba-ba-vroom!
You hear the news? Some girl from uptown sending out a challenge to all the greasers on the west side.
That's a laugh. There ain't a car in the world faster than Ronnie. It's grease lightning on a two-lane blacktop.
And she knows it. That's why she doesn't want to race me. She wants to do a chicken run.
But you ain't chicken, boss. Turkey, maybe, but chicken, not a chance.
That's right. I don't know the meaning of fear. A teacher tried to tell me once, so I dropped out of the 2nd grade and became a drag racer instead.
That's a great story, boss. Still, think you might want to wear a helmet next time?
Helmets are for cowards, just like seatbelts and work and brakes. Now let's go. The boys are waiting.
Look alive.
Yes, sir.
There, boss. You lose your nerve?
Hope you find what you're looking for.
He wasn't there.
Then what happened?
I was driving ahead, pedal to the metal, but then I made the mistake of looking up, and that's when our eyes met. She was the bee's knees, a real drag strip dolly. I knew right then I couldn't let anything happen to her, so I swerved out of the way.
Really, Dick? You know what they're saying out there, right? They're saying you're chicken.
I'm not a chicken, damn it. I'm in love.
It's a story of thrills, chills, and head-on collisions. Coming this summer, it's Dick Petty and the Drag Strip Dolly.
Certainly.
Over here.
Let's take a look at what you've got.
How am I gonna get this stain out? It's a problem for every housewife. You just cooked a wonderful roast for your family, and now comes the hard part. Tough, greasy stains on your dishes, your counters, and all over your sink. My dear, what you need is the Brexidine industrial grade scouring powder. It works with any surface to remove dirt and hard to clean grease. And you know it works because it was made by the scientists at Robco.
But I thought Robco made robots, not cleaning supplies.
Robco makes a lot of things, but more than anything, Robco makes you happy.
I do feel much better now that I made the switch to a Braxo. And look,
that far, Susan, but your counters look splendid. And Abraxo isn't just for kitchen countertops. It's made to work with robots, pets, and even your own children.
My dogs are filthy. Almost as dirty as my son. I can wash them with Abraxo powder, too.
Yes, you can. That's because Abraxo is a mixture of naturally occurring borax and hand soap, which means any skin irritation you feel is just as Mother Nature intended.
That sounds amazing. I think I'll buy 10. No, 20 boxes.
Good for you, Susan. But leave some for the folks at home. So, if you're in need of an all-purpose cleaner for your counters, bathtubs,
Everything
and
seems to be
children,
proceeding according
try
to plan, sir.
Abraxo scouring powder today. Abraxo. For all your household
We'd move faster if you kept your eyes on the road and off me arse.
What do you need?
Look alive.
Looking to lighten your load?
Been too long since I picked a fight.
Move here.
Need something? What's
I'll
going
stop
on?
complaining when there's nothing left to complain about.
What do you need?
Enough of this slog. Just point us to the
I
nearest
just need to
watering hole.
trade gear with you.
Sure thing.
Please, just... I need to be alone right now.
You're tied to this place, kid. Your energy.
What's going on?
Let's trade.
Of course.
And now, some history. On this date in 1951, Rocky Marciano took on the Brown Bomber, Joe Louis, in a matchup of two of the sport's greatest titans. Few knew it at the time, however, as Louis was nearing the end of his career, and Rocky was merely starting it. Such is the whimsy of time that the two would never meet at their respective peaks.
Sam, it looked like you had the bomber doing the turkey trot out there like it was 2 days before Thanksgiving. How long before you realized that goose was cooked?
Joe Louis is a great champion.
and a great man. I have nothing but respect for him. It's just my time.
So what's next for you, champ? Are you gonna get a shot at the title? But the way I see it, you got fire in those hands, and Jersey Joe's sweating gasoline.
Well, I still have a few more fights before I can get a title shot. But I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Marciano would go on to win those fights and every fight after, finishing his career at 49-0 with 43 knockouts. But on that night, it was about two legends going on separate paths, but occupying the same ring on this date in 1951.
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
I always have time for you, me love.
Hey, Chip, you heading to the bowling alley after school?
Oh, I can't, Roxy. I got an algebra test tomorrow. I really gotta study for.
That's a shame. The entire cheer squad's gonna be there. It's gonna be real boss.
Say, Rock, how is it that you never have to study? Back in grade school, you were dumbing in a sack of potatoes. Not to mention all the concussions you suffer playing football.
That was the old Rocky, before I discovered Mentats.
Mentats? What's that? Some kind of prep class?
Oh, Chip, you know when you got dead in one of those. No, Mentats is a drug. It makes you smarter, funnier, and comes in 4 great flavors. Here, have a taste.
Wow, I feel smart already. But isn't this wrong? Mr. Kopowski says there's no shortcuts to success.
Sounds like Mr. Kopowski didn't take his Mentats this morning, because that's just about the stupidest thing I ever had in my life.
Mentats, for
rains when you need it, so you can party when you don't.
Boy, is it good to be home. Everything's just how I remember. There's Dot's Diner, right next to the old drugstore. The people are the same too. There's Bill the barber, Martha the grocer, and Charlie the racist, allegedly. I guess they still haven't proven those costumes were his. And frankly, they probably never will. That's because nothing ever changes in Springfield.
Connie, it's good to have you back. Where have you been?
Costa Rica, working with animals mostly. Magnificent creatures you'll find there.
Sounds wonderful. What brings you to town?
I don't know. I felt homesick.
And you just hopped a plane back here?
Yeah.
Well, you probably should have given your family some warning. Given them time to prepare for your homecoming.
Why? I thought they might like it if I surprised them.
Really, that's not a good idea. You should call them first. Why don't we use the phone over here?
Now you're acting strange. Why should I call them first? What's going on?
I don't know how to tell you this, so I won't. Why don't you go home and talk to your sister?
Connie? What are you doing here? Why didn't you call?
Does a man need a reason to come back home?
Well, no, not usually. But after the drugs and the mental institution, we thought...
What drugs? What institution? I've been in Costa Rica.
Oh, Connie, your doctor said you might have delusions. Things to fill the gaps in time. I mean, could you even point out Costa Rica on a map?
Sure. It's right next to Arizona somewhere.
I'm afraid not, sweetie.
Are you calling me a liar? Where's Dad? He'll tell you.
Connie, you don't remember? You murdered your father right in this very room. And we've been trying to cover it up ever since.
I murdered him? Oh my God. Is that what caused me to lose my mind?
Well, no. You were actually dealing with it quite well. But then you started making advances at Sam.
What's wrong with that? Sam's a good-looking man.
Sam's a girl. And your sister. And she's been dead for 7 years.
Oh no. Was it me? Did I kill her? Did that put me over the edge?
That, or the pills, or that weird cult you joined. Look, the point is, it's really awkward when you come home and I have to explain this to you every time. If you called, I could have made up some story, like Dad and Sammy went out fishing.
He went fishing, huh? And he didn't even invite me. I'm gonna kill him. It's the same old story in Springfield. Everything's just how I remember.
all that weight is simply slowing you down. Robco Sales and Service seems the perfect innocuous place for a military installation.
Attention, Space Cadets. Here's an urgent message for Secret Squadron members. B-U-T-T-C. I repeat, B-U-T-T-C. Over.
There's a message. Now it's decoded. How do you do that? I can't show you, because you're not a member of the Secret Squadron, Judy. Only members get the new Silver Dart decoder. Can girls join too?
Yes, they can. But in your case, Judy, I'm gonna make an exception. But to all other children who aren't Judy, you're welcome to join Space Fleet's Secret Squadron at any time. Just cut out the postcard that's included on the back of every pack of sugar bombs. And when you join, you'll get a membership card and a Space Fleet pin, as well as instructions on how to use your decoder ring. Of course, there's one message you don't need to decipher, and that's the nutritional information on the side of the box. After all, sugar bombs has already been cleared by Space Fleet's medical staff, so you know it's good and good for you. This is Admiral Midnight for Space Fleet, signing off.
Can't wait to get out of this goddamn heat.
Welcome to the Atomic Hour. I'm your host, Frank W. Tonight we have a special guest, the self-proclaimed
What gave you the idea we're
ring-a-ting
friends?
king, Jimmy Swank. How you doing, Jimmy? Is it Jimmy or James?
Why don't you just call me Dr. Swank?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware you practiced medicine.
I don't, but
Need
that's
something?
what I told my mother.
Let's
so
trade
it's
some
best
things.
if you play
Sure
along.
thing.
She doesn't know about this whole rock and roll thing.
They didn't tell me you were funny.
I wasn't joking.
I see.
Why bother with that?
Moving on to
Opening
other
a
topics.
museum or
Is
something.
it true your first album sold 1 million records?
That's what they tell me. I think they're trying to temper expectations, though, for the next album. My internal expectations
going
have
on?
my sales in the
Can we trade a few things?
Sure.
I don't know, Jimmy. There's only 500 million people in America.
You're not counting repeat purchases. I like the Maltese Mutant so much, I saw it 3 times in the theater. And my album was twice as good as that film.
Mama
Well,
Murphy.
film's different than
You're
record.
tied to this place.
I don't need to buy another copy to play it again, do I?
I just want to trade a few things.
Go ahead.
That's where you're mistaken. My records are very fragile. They're designed to break after one listen.
Well, that doesn't sound like very good business practice.
Just wanted to trade a few things.
Okay.
The law doesn't apply to celebrities, Frank. You would know that if your ratings were better.
Well, hopefully having you on will help with that. But that's all the time we have for today. Tune in next week when we interview the voice of Sugar Bombs himself. Boom Boom, the
Don't take
cereal-loving
offense to
grenade.
Marcy.
Only on
She's
the Atomic
working
Hour.
through the loss in her own way.
Just looking to trade a little.
And now, an important public service announcement.
I know I'm not the only person
We
here
at
who's
Great
lost
Tortoise
someone.
Cigarettes
I
realize children can be negatively affected by
miss 'em
tobacco
so much.
advertisements. That's why our company has decided to suspend the use of Tommy Tortoise in future campaigns.
Easy living, this
Children
ain't.
will no longer be able to wear Tommy's sleek leather jackets or his signature tortoiseshell sunglasses, nor will they be able to watch the Tommy Tortoise cartoon. Our company recognizes Tommy's good looks and laid-back attitude made him a role model to today's youth, when in truth, children should be modeling their behavior and fashion choices after their parents. That's why, starting today, we're launching a new anti-smoking campaign. If you want to be hip and cool, don't be like Tommy Tortoise, Humphrey Bogart, or Lauren Bacall. 3 people who love the smooth, great taste of Grey Tortoise cigarettes. Be like your parents instead.
You'd better keep your mouth shut about this place. Can't trust anyone.
You don't walk into the darkness. You fall. You plummet further and further into the void, until there's nothing left save the time between the fall and the ground. It's in that ever-shrinking distance that fear resides, ageless and all-knowing. And as you find yourself consumed by this dread, you never realize that it isn't the fall or the ground that kills you. It's the fear. So we advise you, change the station. Because once you tune in to the darkness, it doesn't matter whether you're really falling or not. There is no climbing out.
Thanks for bringing me up. I'm gonna need to lay low for a little while.
It's no problem. But I gotta ask, Charlie, how long do you plan on staying on here?
For Christ's sake, Tony, I shot a cop. This isn't going away anytime soon.
But what if they come looking for you?
Why? Are you thinking about selling me out?
No, of course not. I'm no rat.
Then shut the hell up and start acting like it. What was that?
I didn't hear anything.
It sounded like a door opening. Who's up there?
There's no one up there. This house is just old.
You lied to me. Look me in the eye and tell me you aren't lying.
I'm not lying. Jesus, Charlie.
Fine. What do you gotta eat around here?
There's some food in the kitchen.
You always did have bad taste in beer.
That's all I can afford right now. Things have been tough ever since I got laid off.
Well, you could always turn me in for a reward.
That's not funny.
choice, you know. It was him or me.
I get it.
Do you?
Yeah. I can't imagine what it's like to take someone's life. It's scary if you think about it.
It wasn't scary at all. In a situation like that, your instincts take over. Next thing you know, he's dead and you aren't.
That's what I mean. It's scary how easy it is. We're supposed to be a civilized species above that sort of thing.
Above what? Murder?
Instinct.
Okay, now I know you're hiding something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The footsteps, Tony. You don't think I hear them?
What footsteps?
Don't play dumb with me. You thought you could stall me while your friends call the cops.
What? I told you, I got laid off. The phone company cut the service out last week.
You lying son of a bitch. You expect me to believe that?
Put down the gun, Charlie, please.
Phone company. What a load of bull. He wasn't lying.
Some people work the 9 to 5. Earn what lesser men call an honest living. Me? I play the horses. Wasn't always like this, mind you. It began as a mistake. It ended up as a career. And in between all that was a lot of education. And not the kind they teach you in school. Or maybe they do teach it. It's not like I know, considering I've never been. Anyways, lately I've been on a real cooler. I started out the season up 10 miles and dropped down to camp fare in a week. Then I made the mistake of putting it all on a filly named Sully's girl.
Cinnabar, Roger, and making his bid now is Battle Flag. Battle Flag coming up fast on the outside. It's Cinnabar and Battle Flag. Cinnabar is fading. Cinnabar is dropping back. It's Battle Flag, Cinnabar, and Rondelay. Battle Flag, Cinnabar, and Rondelay. And the finish, it's Battle Flag by a neck. Then Cinnabar, Rondelay, and Sully's girl.
Now I'm in the tank for 5 dimes to a bagman named Butch. Problem is, all I got in the world are the clothes on my back and this moldy sandwich I fished out of a trash can. And in an hour.
Need to
I
get
won't
back
even
to
have
Diamond
that.
City one of these days.
It's when I saw an ad in the Bugle. Supposedly a robot wants a fellow machine to travel with him to Los Angeles to pick up an inheritance. Well, I may not be a robot, but I can fake it easy enough. I'm here about the ad.
I see. I'm sorry, but the ad was for a robot. You look human.
I'm a new prototype, a fully functioning android.
Oh, then you won't mind if I pour this scalding hot coffee on your lap?
Of course not. I'm a machine. I don't feel pain.
How's that?
It's fine. Don't
It's
feel
always
a thing.
fascinating watching you create.
Wonderful. We leave for Los Angeles tomorrow.
The coffee burned like 3-day-old
Self-diagnostic complete.
I held it
I'm
together
happy to
with
report
cash.
I won't be falling
No,
apart
not
on
the
you
money
anytime
you
soon.
paid me to drive. I wanted that inheritance. And if I could convince this bucket of bolts I was a machine, I could do the same for the lawyers. When we got on the road, I learned everything about him. The factory he was built in, his serial number, and his primary function. He was a casino robot, charged with shuffling cards at a blackjack table. In fact, that's all he ever talked about. It was all he was programmed to talk about. Eventually, I had just about enough.
Did you know that it takes 2,000 shuffles to properly randomize a deck?
Oh, yeah? Did you know that it only takes 1 bullet to kill a robot? And that's for pouring hot coffee on my lap. When I got to Los Angeles, I got a bad feeling. Not on my lap, of course. There was nothing there but pain. No, the feeling I had was more like a hunch. Like a 6-1 underdog taking a bad beat on a dried-up river. So I flipped a coin.
You have a good
Heads I
sleep?
go in, tails I don't. The coin came up heads. Are you Mr. Kensington? I'm the card-shuffling robot you spoke to on the phone. I'm here to collect my inheritance.
Oh, yes. Do you have the documents?
Yes, I do. Here's my production slip along with my bill of sale and retirement papers. They replaced me just last year with those new Robco models.
I see. This is all well and good, but there's one other document I think you should see.
What's this?
I know
The
I did.
factory recall slip from your manufacturer.
Next person that
Factory
asked me to
recall.
shag is getting a well-placed
means-
kick.
Yes.
If
I'm
you
afraid
get my
there
meaning.
is no inheritance. Your
Ready
model
to
has
head
a
back out?
defect that makes you
I just want to trade a few things.
What am I? A bank?
that belief you manufactured this backstory. But really, think about it. What sort of person would leave a massive fortune to a card-shuffling robot?
Wait, I'm not really a
Ready to
robot.
head back out?
See?
I just want to trade a few things.
What am I? A bank?
Cropping up again. I'm well aware of how realistic you prototypes are. We have a similar model in our office. But the fact remains you are a machine. Anyhow, don't worry. Security will have you boxed up and shipped back to Boston in no time.
No, let me go. You can't do this.
Hi, my name is Bill Sherman, CEO of Prescott Pharmaceuticals, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting new product called Sprayo. It's a nasal spray that provides immediate relief for hay fever, runny nose, and itchy eyes. Just one squirt up your nose and it's like sending your sinuses to sunny Arizona. Far away from pollen, allergy irritation, and of course, Mexicans. So breathe free and easy with Sprayo, and you'll feel like your sinuses are in a better state.
You've seen Grognak the Conqueror destroying the forces of evil and hearing the lamentations of their women. You've watched Grognak the Traveler sailing the Forbidden Sea to slay the great Leviathan, Two Tails. You've seen him match wits with the wily Mansaurian and tame the passions of the warrior princess, Fem Ra. Now join him on his most exciting adventure as Grognak travels to New York. Sent to an alternate dimension by the warlock Skullpocalypse, Grognak must find his way home in a strange land filled with planes, trains, and automobiles, all while being hunted by the mob. You're a dirty rat, Grognak. You were supposed to take a dive in the 5th round, and now the Dons put a bounty on your head.
Egg is on you, Sonny. Grognak cannot dive where there is no water.
And he never met Don. For the last time, Don's not a name, it's a title. And another thing, you big dope. Watch me throwing the other guy out the ring and into the popcorn stand. That ain't even boxing. It's wrestling. Jesus, Grog. It's like you were born in the Stone Age or something.
Grognak does not know, but he tell you one thing. The Stony Age end tonight.
Ah! Will Grognak make it back to his own time? Or will the mob have our heroes swimming with the fishes? Find out in this special motion picture event, Grognak in New York.
Hey there. Why don't you come a little closer? Don't be shy. You know what I want, don't you? I want you to take it off. I want you to take it all off. No, not your clothes, handsome. You can keep those on. I want you to take off all that pesky facial hair. And nothing takes it off like the Blades brand razor. Blades. Because if there's one thing a woman like me wants,
I just want to trade a
it's
few
man
things.
who's unafraid to take it off.
What's up?
Should be a fine day for
Can we trade a few things?
You can fix just about anything. Guns, computers, people. Just gotta have the right tools.
Rather be off murdering a pint. This will do. What?
Hey,
Gonna get you a drink?
I want to trade a few things.
Go ahead. What can I get you? Let's see what you've got. Here's what I've got.
Hey there.
Looking to buy?
I'll take a look, sure.
Here's what I got.
past yields such interesting finds.
Hey,
If you're looking for armor, I may have something you can use.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Here's what I got.
Stein residence, Gertrude speaking.
Hey, Gertie. I got some bad news. Billy at the shop needs me to cover for him. Something about bees in his pants?
Oh my, that sounds serious.
Yeah. Supposedly, he's only got a 10% chance to keep his dingling, but that's not why I'm calling, honey bun. I wanted to let you know that I'll probably have to cancel on our date tonight.
That's a shame. Oh well, I'll see you when you get home, dear.
Love you.
Love you too.
Did she buy it?
Hook, line, and sinker, Billy.
I bet it was the bees that scared her. People are terrified of bees.
That's your ignorance talking. Without bees, the world would be a scary place. There'd be no flowers, no fruits, and no apiologists.
Happy what now?
Apiologist, Billy. That's a fancy name for beekeeper. Now, if you want to talk about something scary, that would be the tarantula hawk.
Is that some kind of bird?
It's a wasp, and if you had one of those in your pants, the last thing you'd be doing is going to the ball game.
Well, no. Should I be worried? What if they have a taste for human flesh?
Wow.
No.
That doesn't
the
look
tarantula
half
hawk,
bad.
or cazador as they're called in some parts, is too small to eat humans. You're not going to look up in the sky and find a swarm of them stinging people. And do you know who we have to thank for that? Bees? Sure. Why not? In fact, when the ball game's over, why don't we go back to your place, and I'll tell you about the time a bumblebee saved my life.
Wow. Bees really are man's best friend.
And don't you forget it.
Let's trade some things.
You ought to be careful. I can fix most things, but people don't fix so easily.
For breakfast, it's pancakes and sausages. For lunch, it's a sandwich in a box. For dinner, it's your wife's homemade chicken pot pie. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. Every meal is as different as night and day. There's only one thing they all have in common. The after-meal cigarette. Make sure yours is as slow
I just want to trade a few things.
as a tortoise. Grey Tortoise famous cigarettes. The perfect end to a well-balanced meal.
This place is really coming together, huh? I can't take all the credit.
Let's trade.
My old man taught me that duct tape could
I am.
fix anything.
And you must be
I don't
Mr.
think he was
Richards.
talking about bullet
Dr.
holes.
Selinger told me you'd be coming in.
And what? Did he tell you I was a loony?
He didn't tell me anything. Just your name, your age, and the phone number of a good plumber.
Why a plumber?
My toilet's backed up. I've been having to use the office bathroom instead.
I see. And you promise you won't put me in a straitjacket?
I won't put you in anything. However, my colleagues at Parsons might be inclined to, provided you're actually ill.
Suppose it doesn't matter anyway. I won't live much longer at this rate.
And why is that?
You watch baseball, Doctor?
Of course. Who in Boston doesn't watch baseball?
Well, do you ever watch the games? Feel like you have control over the outcome?
I'd say that's fairly common. Superstition and sports go hand in hand.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, you realize that whatever you do, it doesn't really matter. But I can't stop thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if I really have the power to change things?
Is that why you're not wearing any clothes?
Yeah, Doc, the more clothes I wear, the harder it is for us to score. I put on a sock, and the bombers hit a double. Take it off, we strike out the side.
But it's got to be less than 30 degrees outside. They'll die of hypothermia.
I know, but if I cost them the first championship since 1918, then the entire city will have me in the electric chair. There's no way out, Doc. It's heads you win, tails I lose.
Mr. Richards, no team has come back from a 3-0 deficit in the history of sports. So it's my medical opinion that you should put on some pants.
What if they lose? What if it's all riding on me?
As a season ticket holder, if we lose, I promise you, Mr. Richards, I'll shoot you myself. But it won't come to that. It just won't.
I heard there's a new patient in Ward C. Supposedly, he thinks he's the reason we lost the World Series. I tell you, give him enough rope and a bottle of chems, and some people will believe just about anything. That's the thing, though. This wasn't some homeless person or addict. It was a respected psychiatrist, Dr. Chase Paul. You don't say. The shrink in the loony bin.
Yes?
Now that's
Hey there.
You look like someone needs a drink.
Let's trade some things.
Okay.
Watching baseball.
I suppose that's something worth building. Whatever it is.
You were telling me about that article on tooth decay.
That's right, Mrs. Carson. Leading scientists reported the same research. Cleaning teeth right after eating the Superdent way stops tooth decay best. And while they didn't mention Superdent Dental Cream by name, by the end of this conversation, it'll be clear to everyone that's the brand they're referring to.
I'm not so sure I know what that means.
It's called classical conditioning, Lucy. Don't worry, you don't need to understand it. Just know that I'm a dentist with a clean, healthy smile, and I'm holding a bottle of Superdent toothpaste in my hand. Your brain will associate the two naturally. But if you like, I can explain it another way. You like superheroes, don't you? Well, Superdent toothpaste fights tooth decay the same way the Unstoppables fight crime. That's right. Your teeth can be as strong as Grognak, or as smooth as the Silver Shroud, so long as you use Superdent toothpaste. So when we say Superdent toothpaste is for the little superhero in your life, we mean it. That goes for you too, Mrs. Carson. Try brushing the Superdent way today.
Yeah?
It's time for everyone's favorite newlywed guessing game, What's Burning My Bacon?
Hi, how are you?
I'm your host, Chip Steele, and with me tonight are two lovely couples who'll be vying for this week's prize, a nuclear-powered washer-dryer, courtesy of our friends at General Atomics International. And, of course, every winner will be eligible to win the grand prize, a lifetime supply of crab. Crab, the world's healthiest artificial meat substitute. Now, let's meet our first couple, shall we? He's a truck driver from Boston. She's a waitress from Leeds. Let's give a warm welcome to Harry and Sally Hernandez.
Well, let me just say, Chip.
I just want to trade a few things.
Of course.
We watch it every night.
Well, not every night. There was that night the electricity went out.
Well, hopefully you know your wife as well as you know the show.
I'll do my best, Chip.
Good, good. Now, as you know, before the show started, we asked your wife questions about things that irritate her. And interestingly enough, our first topic this week just happened to be you, Harry. We asked Sally about all the things that you do that really get on her nerves, and boy, were there a lot of them. But there was one habit that stood out above them all. So, with that in mind, let me ask you, Harry, what about you burns your wife's bacon?
Oh, this is easy. See, last year I decided to put all our life savings in limited edition bobbleheads. You know, I really think they'll appreciate much better than any stock. My wife...
Hold on, you did what?
Oh, wait, you didn't know?
Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. The answer we were looking for was it really burns my bacon when he forgets to throw out the trash. It was the trash, Harry, which is probably where you should throw out those worthless toys.
I can't believe you did this.
Yeah?
With you.
Honey,
Well, this is getting awkward. Why don't we take a commercial break, and when we get back, we'll meet the second newlywed couple, Clay and Jessica Curry, and ask them, what's burning my bacon?
Know that 4 out of 5 doctors prefer smoking Big Boss cigarettes to any other brand? That's because Big Boss is made from all-natural tobacco toasted to perfection by real Apache Indians, straight from the reservation. In fact, medical studies prove that Big Boss cigarettes are the smoothest, freshest cigarette money can buy, and are a leading cause of good health, general well-being, and an active sex life. So what are you waiting for? Try a pack of Big Boss cigarettes today.
This should prove interesting. I wonder what you'll build next.
A reminder to all teenagers everywhere, keep off the grass. No, we're not talking about your neighbor's lawn, although it's a good idea to stay off that as well. Your neighbor worked very hard to keep his property free and clear of children, and he shouldn't have to remind you to stay off it. But no, the grass we're talking about is far more lethal than Mr. Gunderson's empty threats to call the police.
An impressive display of survival tactics. Picking up something. It down.
It's an old story. A man is in need of a life-saving surgery. He visits the local hospital for help, only to find the chief physician has wobbly hands and an obvious drinking habit. As a result, not only does the surgery fail, but the man wakes up to find his toes are missing and covered in vodka. Not that he can see it, even his head has been sewn on backwards. Meanwhile, at Milton General Hospital, patients can rest easy knowing that every surgery is performed with the exacting precision made possible by robots. Furthermore, every nurse, doctor, and emergency technician has been programmed with the latest empathy chip to provide the genuine care and selflessness human doctors try desperately to fake. That is why, if you're sick, injured, or in need of care, visit us at Milton General Hospital, the only hospital that offers human empathy with robotic precision.
They say the carpenter lives a long life. Whether you spend your days at the church or the saloon, you'll find traces of his legacy in every brick, board, and nail. The gunsmith is no different. You'll find his signature in the holsters of sheriffs and bandits alike, his
his name written in the trails of Gunsmoke. But neither the carpenter nor the gunsmith lived as long
Hey.
as one Samantha Bell. That's because she put her soul into a song.
I have you of service.
No one knew for sure when she met the man from the Far East. The lyrics say he walked right out of the Pacific, and maybe that's true. They came from lands unknown to work on a railroad that would someday cross the continental United States. So when Samantha's father sent her back to Boston, putting a good 3,000 miles between her and her love, the man saw it as a test. He was going to take the train east one day, even if it meant laying down the track himself.
What can I do for you?
Samantha believed it, too. And on the day she left and every day after, she'd turn toward the sunset and sing him a song. She let its melody travel on the wind from town to town, ear to ear, hoping one day it'd reach his. Happy endings were the stuff of fairy tales and pixie dust. The song never found him, and the man never made it east. Still, so strong was their love that the echoes remain.
You hear about that farm run
And
by
late at
ghouls?
night, if you
Isn't
listen
that
for
something?
hear Samantha
I'm sure I
humming
have
by the
something you
shore,
need.
in hopes that one
Sure.
day
Let's take a look.
Here's what I got.
arms again.
If you ain't been up to see Grey Garden, you should go. Whole place is run by robots.
Excuse me.
Looking for a weapon?
Let's see what you have.
Let me know what you'd like.
You know what I call a good day? One that ends without an empty stomach.
Need armor?
Let's see what you've got.
Great.
You might want to drop some of those things you're carrying.
Hey.
Yes.